What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about renting versus owning your adult daycare center. Should you rent the space? Should you own the space? But first, what do you think of the studio? What do you think? Brand freaking new setup here. What do you think? Have you even noticed? Did you even notice? We put like 4 videos out. No one said nothing. What the heck? Just let me know before I continue and give you all this great information. Just hit a little like. See that little button? Hit it. Or you can comment on what your thoughts are on the studio. One of the two. Take your pick. Or do both. You get bonus points. I don't know what you get, but I'm going to give you bonus points. So anyways, we're going to be talking about renting versus owning. What should you do? All right. Number one, most importantly, no matter what, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you found like the perfect property and you're like, this is the one this is the one I've always wanted. No, listen. Hold on. Okay. Relax. Because if you have this amazing property and it's in a terrible location, then it's worthless. Absolutely worthless. It doesn't matter how amazing it is, how excited you are. The reality of it is that if it is in the wrong location, it is like location is the number one deciding factor no matter what. Okay. So if you have the right location for your adult daycare, now you can ask yourself, are there places to rent or are there places to buy in that area? But let's kind of like dive into the renting versus owning. How does that work? So number one, renting. Renting will allow you to start with a much lower initial cost because you don't have to build it. It's already there. You just have a shell that you need to renovate, but you're not gonna have to purchase the land and the building and all that other stuff because that is gonna cost a lot of money. And then you're gonna have to pay property taxes, you're gonna have to pay all this stuff. So yes, renting, might have its advantage, or owning might have its advantages, but one of the things about renting versus owning is that you're gonna have a much lower initial cost. Number two, renting, you can open much faster. The reason why is if you have a building that you own, the process of purchasing that building is just going to take time. It's going to take 60 days at least. Okay. So you get 60 days tied up in contract negotiation and you're going to have some of the time tied up in renting, but you could also potentially get in a space faster if you go to rent it versus owning. There's a lot of variables with owning. So you could get in there faster with renting. Number three is less maintenance issues if you're renting. If you're renting, a lot of the large maintenance problems, that's going to be on the responsibility of the landlord. So you're not going to have to worry about as many maintenance issues. It may depend on if it's triple net or cam or how it's set up. But all in all, you may not have to worry about all of the major maintenance issues that there may be with the building. Number four, increased foot traffic or visibility. If you're in a shopping plaza, okay? If you're in a Publix plaza, think about all that foot traffic and all of the other vendors that might be in that plaza that could potentially need your adult daycare services. So you're going to be in a great place with a lot of just wonderful foot traffic that you didn't even have to pay for. You just being in the center, you're getting that additional visibility. Number five, you can always ask for, whether you're dealing with a landlord, you can always ask for tenant improvements, which is going to be the landlord's contribution to you to improve the space. So they might allot a certain dollar amount and give that to you to help renovate the space, or you might be able to ask for rent abatement, where you might be able to just pay the cam for a certain number of months, or you might be able to get full rent abatement for X period of time before you start paying, or you might pay a lower monthly rental. You might pay a lower monthly rent for that initial period of time. So you're gonna have maybe you pay no rent for the first 3 months, and then maybe for the next 6 months you pay a lower amount of rent, but you make up for it the next year, because then you're giving yourself and your business a breathing room to get open. So you have these ways of kind of working with the landlord and strategizing with them to kind of help you in a way that's going to be most advantageous to you opening your business. Now, owning. Let's talk about owning a little bit. Okay, so owning, right? If you want to own your space, there are some perks to that as well. Some pros and cons with everything. But if you want to own it, you can actually apply for much longer financing terms, especially if you're using a SBA 7A loan. If you do that and you purchase a building and you're purchasing the building that you're going to occupy for your business, you can actually finance the purchase of the building and the business startup costs over the course of 25 years, which is amazing. Can you imagine financing your business and your building over the course of 25 years? It would be such a huge reduction in your burden for your debt burden that you're going to have, right? For your debt payments. So number 2 is, with owning a business or owning your space, your business is going to pay down the debt on that asset. So at the end of the day, assuming you're successful and your business is successful, you'll own the asset free and clear. So that is another thing. And you can use that asset now and you can leverage against that asset to purchase another building, or to purchase or start your next business or your next location. So there are some advantages to that. Of course, all of the little nitty-gritty details are going to be unique to you. Number 3 would be the benefits of depreciation. Your ability to depreciate and kind of write off expenses because you own the space, right? So you can depreciate certain expenses. You can depreciate, if you go and you put all new flooring in, or you put all these, all this stuff new, you can depreciate all those expenses over a period of time. There's certain ways to depreciate things in larger amounts earlier on and take the depreciation earlier, as opposed to taking it over the period of time you own the building. But you have that benefit of being able to have some of those tax write-offs. Number 4 is the flexibility to expand. If you own the land and you own the building, and if you really, 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 really wanted to, you could expand the space. You could potentially add on to it. You could build another building. You could put a second floor. I don't know, whatever crazy imagination you had, you could potentially do that. So you have a little bit of flexibility there. And number 5, I think I already talked about this a little bit on the financing terms, but the perks to the SBA, I think what I was trying to say is, 1, you can finance it over a longer period of time because you own the space. Number 2, I was trying to say is the perks are the fact that you can actually finance the business, the actual business, the working capital, the startup costs, and the building all as part of the same loan. So there's some just different things to chew on, think about. Renting versus owning, what is better for you? A lot of this too might depend on your credit worthiness. You may not qualify for a loan to purchase the actual location as well as the business, but maybe you qualify for just the business loan, or maybe you don't need any of that stuff. Maybe you're just trying to decide, do I want to own? Do I want to rent? What do I want to do? Ultimately, the decision is yours, but location is key. So being in the right location where, people can access you easily, they can get in and out easily, they can drop their loved ones off easily, you can provide transportation easily. All of those things are going to be key. Absolutely number 1 priority when choosing a location is making sure that it's in the right place to begin with. So always, look at that as your kind of like number 1. Is it in the right place? Is it where we need to be? Are the demographics right? If you're there, then that would be the ultimate deciding factor. Because don't just go buy a building because it sounds cool and then you're in a place that's just terrible and then no one shows up. So anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful. Renting versus owning. Thank you for joining me on this episode. We'll see you on the next one. And now you know what to do, right? Get back to work. After you like, comment, subscribe, show some love. See ya. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click here. We'll see you guys next time.